This week, we opened a case file that exposed a terrifying side of corporate shortcutting, how some enterprises look at ordinary household conveniences and turn them into highly volatile, ticking time bombs just to maximize their profit margins. It began with an anonymous tip delivered straight to a police headquarters, and it ended with a massive tactical raid that laid bare an underground network operating completely in the dark. Millions of you across the globe have flooded our feeds over the last few days, intensely debating the layers of greed in this case. We looked at how a hidden company warehouse was running a massive, unauthorized assembly line, refilling single-use butane tins with high-pressure LPG without a single safety certificate or a dollar paid in business taxes. Today, we bring the entire narrative together into one seamless feature. We will break down the precise mechanics of the surveillance operation, the airtight on-scene inventory, and the legal trap of Republic Act 11,592. Watch this file until the very end to understand why shortcuts in the law always lead to ultimate ruin. This is the complete feature. To a regular consumer, a cheap, refilled butane canister looks like a harmless bargain, a simple way to save a few coins for a family meal or a weekend barbecue. But when unregulated individuals tamper with pressurized gas, they are inviting tragedy straight into your kitchen. Republic Act 11,592 wasn't created to stifle business. It was engineered as a literal shield to protect human lives from catastrophic fire and explosion. The file began with a confidential intelligence tip delivered straight to the desk of the chief of police. The data was highly specific. Deep inside an unassuming industrial zone, a hidden facility was running a massive underground gas refilling line. Our surveillance teams were deployed immediately to monitor the perimeter. Through days of deep reconnaissance, the operational pattern emerged. Heavy flatbeds loaded with empty, rusting canisters entering the facility and leaving packed with volatile, pressurized gas. Our team launched an immediate data verification with the Department of Energy, DOE. The regulatory agency's response was absolute. The enterprise held 0 operating permits, 0 safety accreditations, and no valid certificate of compliance. They were operating completely outside the boundaries of the law. Armed with undeniable intelligence, our teams applied for a search warrant. A regional trial court judge reviewed our data and signed the order. The breach was flawless. As the tactical perimeter closed in, the interior of the warehouse exposed a sophisticated, highly hazardous operation. Multiple employees were caught red-handed, working in unventilated spaces, actively transferring high-pressure LPG into flimsy, single-use butane tins. But the mastermind, the wealthy corporate owner, was nowhere to be found. He had insulated himself from the physical danger, leaving his workers to handle the frontline risk. At Ching's perspective, our guiding principle is absolute professional confidentiality and legal integrity. When documenting active corporate crimes that are currently pending resolution before our regional courts, we operate under strict legal boundaries. We do not leak real tactical videos, and we do not expose raw identities on our feed. To deliver this critical public safety warning without losing its heavy investigative impact, we utilized advanced AI prompting. We explicitly rejected basic cartoon filters or animated illustrations. Instead, we directed the AI engine to reconstruct hyper-realistic, human-like visual stills, focusing on the precise rust of a compromised gas valve and the meticulous process of an on-scene evidence catalog. By leveraging technology, we preserve the integrity of the judicial process while ensuring the stark safety lesson is vividly understood by millions worldwide. When our investigators demanded a valid operating license from the cornered warehouse employees, they met us with dead silence. Every piece of heavy machinery, every pressurized tank, and thousands of illegal canisters were frozen, cataloged, and inventoried directly on the crime scene. To ensure absolute procedural integrity, the entire seizure was witnessed and signed off by local barangay officials alongside the arrested suspects. We filed heavy criminal charges for the flagrant violation of Republic Act 11,592, the LPG Industry Regulation Act, targeting both the operating workers and the fugitive owner. The provincial prosecutor reviewed the raid's telemetry and formally approved the criminal information. Recognizing his empire was exposed, the wealthy owner stayed hidden in the shadows, but instantly funded a massive legal bail pool to secure temporary liberty for his workers. He used his checkbook as a corporate shield, hoping to buy their silence and insulate his brand. Today, as the wheels of justice turn, the case sits fully active, pending resolution before the regional court. This case forces us to look past the illusion of a cheap shortcut. Making a massive profit by bending the law, bypassing the Department of Energy, and evading required business taxes looks highly lucrative in the dark. You think you are clever because your pockets are filling up while the regulators are asleep. But remember this timeless, unyielding law of the streets. No violation, no crime, and no deception can remain hidden forever. The longer you continue doing it, the closer you get to your own discovery. Dura lex, sed lex. The law is harsh, but it remains the law. True Stoic success is built on an honorable foundation, not on hidden valves, illegal warehouses, and tax evasion. The owner funded the bail pool, believing his wealth protects him from the physical consequences of the law. But in law enforcement, we look at that shield differently. The moment he uses his personal capital to bail out his workers, he creates a permanent financial paper trail that binds him directly to the crime scene as evidence of corporate control. He didn't beat the system. He signed his own trail. To my global community, protect your households, obey the required processes of business, pay your due taxes, and guard your honor. The run always ends. What is your perspective? Should the mastermind carry a vastly heavier penalty than the workers who operated the lines? Let me know your insights in the comments below. Keep your mind sharp, your circles verified, and your perspective grounded. I'm Ching, and I'll see you in the next case file.
If you made this far, comment the word "more" so I know who the real ones are.